Dominaria Standard shakeup just ended today, and it kind of drove home the point to me that these new arena events, they're pretty terrible. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. That probably sounded a little bit weird. I am sick right now, unfortunately, and it is affecting my voice, my energy levels, and my overall level of face droop. So bear with me, my friends, as I really don't like not making videos. Even when I'm not feeling well, one of the things that still makes me happy is making content. So thanks for coming by and hanging out. We're going to talk about the new batch of arena events that's going on and why I think that they suck. Now, this isn't to say that they suck across the board. In some ways, Wizards of the Coast has listened to feedback in a useful way. In other ways, they've listened to feedback in a non-useful way. But what they've demonstrated is with Arena, specifically with the Mastery Pass and these events, that they are indeed listening to feedback. So this sort of discussion, I think, has merit. What we're dealing with are the Planecation events. Now, the idea behind it from a flavor perspective is actually pretty cool. The whole concept is supposed to be you're a planeswalker traveling to different planes of existence, right? You're on vacation, just, taking it easy. And the rewards that they're using as part of the system, the whole idea is you travel to these different worlds and get different rewards. So the Dominarian one was Mirage Lands, where there was actually some people, specifically in my Discord even, hello Romaine, who were very unhappy that these lands didn't have the old school border when it came to the Mirage Lands. But either way, you go to each different plane. For example, we went to Dominaria with the Mirage Lands, and you win land arts from that particular set. Now, overall, the rewards, well, actually, you know what? Let's put a pin in that for a second. Let's talk about the overall design of the event. So you've got these vacation events. Now, they're supposed to happen once a week. Now, previous to this, Wizards of the Coast did their Stained Glass Planeswalker multi-events, which I actually really enjoyed. I found that the concept behind that was a better one overall. There was 36 different Planeswalkers from War of the Sparks. So they had a number of them that you could win for free by playing in their events, and some that you would have to spend gold and gems on. Dividing it up that way didn't feel so bad because there were a fair number of Planeswalkers being given away each week. You could get like 3 or 4, maybe up to 5 different Planeswalker styles in a week with the beautiful stained glass artwork. They looked magnificent. Now, there was a couple of problems with the War of the Sparks series of events, and one of them was the length of the event in terms of, in a normal Magic event, here's what happens. After X number of losses, you're out of the event. For some event, it's 1 loss, you're out. For some events, it's 2 losses, and for other events, it's 3 losses. But either way, lose X number of events, you're out. So for this free event, Wizards of the Coast said, you know what? We're not going to worry about losses. We only care about wins. Play as much as you'd like, which I think is a fantastic approach to these kind of events, where it's like, okay, you don't have to worry about getting knocked out of this at all. You just get to go, all right, I'll just keep cranking along. Now, part of the problem is they didn't gauge what the reward spectrum should be like. So basically they had it set up in a way where it was every 3 wins would get you something down this path. So for example, your first 3 wins would net you, and this may not be the exact schedule. Things may be switched around based on how it actually happened. But let's say, for example, your first 3 wins get you one of these Planeswalkers. Basically, it's like, okay, here you go. Here's an uncommon Planeswalker skin. And then your next group of 3 wins gets you 500 gold or 300 gold, whatever it is. And then your next 3 wins get you a Planeswalker. And then your next 3 wins get you gold. And then your final 3 wins get you to the top level of 15 of wins, where you win the rare Planeswalker skin. And overall, I thought this was a pretty cool concept, but the events did tend to drag, and there were issues like the Momir event, where not only, like, they brought over the Momir format, which at its heart is a very cool format. Momir is a cool format that uses randomized creatures. Basically, you discard a card from your hand each turn, pay X mana, and you get a random creature from everything that's available in Arena with the same casting cost as the mana you spent. So conceptually, that's cool. What they decided to do, though, was also include planeswalkers in the event, where it's like, okay, here you go. You've got these planeswalkers in here, and they kind of messed up people's momentum in terms of not always being guaranteed a land drop and made the event way more random. Now, personally, I like random nonsense, so for me it was okay, but for the majority of players, they hated it. They hated how many games they had to win through essentially what was mostly random chance with very little ability to influence like the outcome of your games. So there was a lot of people who were unhappy about how long they felt locked into that event. So Wizards of the Coast heard that feedback and said, okay, we're going to cut the number of wins required down. So now with the new events, how it works is you end up getting something for each win. There's a 6-win progression and you're done. You don't have to play that format anymore to get what Wizards is offering. So the first level of these events gives you a full experience level on the Mastery Pass and also gives you the first reward card. And so there's one reward card for each level, starting at level 1. And basically what you're getting is a basic land from an old expansion, something that's not on Arena, basically. So they're giving you these lands, but it's just the land art. So if you don't really care about the land art, it actually feels fairly tedious going through the event because you have to go 6 wins to get everything. The first 5 are Mirage lands, for example, from the Dominaria one, and the 6th is a full art Unhinged land. So they're doing 5 of these different events across like a little over a month period, basically over a 5-week period. And each one results in your top 6th win getting you an Unhinged full art land. So they listened to the feedback in terms of the event being too long and reduce the number of wins. But they also have done something with this event that I really don't like, or not this event, but this series of events. And that is reduce the amount of time that it's available. They said people complained that the events went on for too long. So basically they would have the event running for a full week. And so they decided instead to chop it down to only like a 3-day window, maybe 3.5, 4 days tops. They cut the amount of time for the event basically in half. But this didn't result in them doing the events back to back to back to back. So basically all they're doing is giving people less time to play in these events. That's all that's going on. And I think part of it, honestly, is motivated by trying to reduce the number of experience levels that everybody has access to. Not everybody's going to be able to play in these events in that window that's given, and more people will get to otherwise. And so it's a way of going, hey, look, we've had these events where we offer you levels of experience, but not everybody can get them, in an attempt to try and pull money out of people's pockets to buy more mastery levels from the past. So to me, shortening down the time of the event while not offering anything in its place is kind of a shady move, really. I mean, if you look at it, that's not the way to do things. If people are like, oh, this event, like, you had this event go on for so long, it pretty much means they want more variety coming. It's not just, oh, offer us it for half the amount of time and then nothing for the rest of the days until the next event comes along, right? So you've got half the time to reap the rewards. On top of that, you've got a new reward setup where each of the 5 events you play in is giving you one of each of the 5 basic Unhinged lands as the top prize, right? You get all 5 Mirage lands in one event, all 5 colors, but you only get one of the 5 Unhinged lands from each event. So if you miss an event, that means you're not going to have the full complement of full art lands from Unhinged. And I've already seen people lamenting about that in my comments and in my live streams. Now, it's not brought up by a ton of people, obviously, but it has been brought up by people, and it makes you go, oh, that's a feel-bad scenario, and there's no reason for the events to be shorter that I can think of logically, other than an attempt to minimize the number of people who are getting that bonus level while still presenting it as if they're giving you maximum opportunity for level earnage. That's how it looks to me. So that's a problem. But really, I think underneath it all, that is a more mild issue to me than the main thrust of why I think the event is awful. Yes, they have cool variation concepts where the Dominarian Standard Shakeup was a cool idea. You go ahead and you remove all the top tier stuff so people have to experiment with other things. Great idea. I like these. I like singleton events. I like the games that I play in the event, but the rewards are so unimpressive that it makes it almost feel like a waste of time. I'm doing it more to be a completionist and get the full art lands than I am out of actual, like, full-on desire to be getting the rewards from the events. I don't really care about the different basic land arts, and I thought that the full art lands were going to be cool, so I got the first one, and then as soon as I saw it actually in play in Arena, I realized that the full art lands suck. They may look better in your hand, but your hand is like, almost all the time, your hands are just down here anyways where you don't see half of it. And when the full art land is on the board, it actually has a smaller art border than non-full art lands because it curves up at the top of the frame. So the frame doesn't go straight, it curves up. So full art lands actually have less art showing on the table, like when it's in play. And so it just feels like, the rewards are nothing. And I mean, I play for the experience level and I play to get the unhinged lands just to say that I got them, really. But it's not engaging the same way that the stained glass walkers were. Not even close. Conceptually, the planecation idea, visiting different planes, flavorful, all right, you know, tapping into different lands from different parts of different planes, that's flavorful. But in execution, with the rewards you get from it, it feels like a fail. So I'm going to have to go mechanical fail, flavor win. And unfortunately, the rewards apparently matter enough to me that, to me, it definitely makes me feel like these events are terrible. They're shorter than they should be, and the rewards aren't even worth the time of playing in it. So if the format you're playing in isn't something you're super hot about, it's like a waste of your time, and people miss out on being able to complete their sets of full art land. So that's my opinion on the events. Let me know what you guys think about them, all right? Because obviously I'm looking for other perspectives as well. I want to give a big shout out to my patrons and channel members. Thanks for coming, guys.